Hello, this is Jamie Green of Advisor One. I'm here at the Schwab 2011 Impact Conference in San Francisco, and joining me this afternoon is Bernie Clark, Executive VP of Schwab Advisor Services, the host for this conference. And Bernie, thanks for stopping by and taking a few minutes.
Absolutely.
I'd like, you made an announcement today, technology announcement, so I'd love to talk to you a little bit about that, but also talk to you about Schwab's priorities and where you hope and plan on spending more of the organization's efforts on behalf of these advisors. So maybe a little bit about the technology announcements to start with.
Yeah, sure.
Further integration of CRM, there's a mobile app on the way.
Yeah, well, you know, Jamie, we talked a year ago, in fact, about the concept that we wanted to start to integrate workflow and technology a little bit more, sort of that next wave. We often talk about the 90s being an era of data and the 2000s of information. Now we're really trying to integrate things. And as we announced last year, providers that would help us with client relationship management systems to do that, we're continuing to add as we had wanted to do. And so bringing on more partners to make sure that more advisors can take advantage of this tool and this platform. Mobile apps are just a great example of something that naturally should become part of the new platform as well.
And that's going to come out, you're demoing it here at Impact, and that's scheduled to roll out next year, is that right? Yeah.
We're in pilot on everything that we've talked about, and so let's continue to bring more and more advisors onto the platforms, and they're anxious. They keep asking that question about, you know, who should I choose now? You know, what's the best product for me to use? And they're looking to us for some of that guidance.
And so as you roll these out, again, talking about the CRM integration, part of the workflow, you're, I don't know if I can say you're taking your time, but you're doing this in a deliberate way to make sure that it actually delivers, going through pilots and then betas and then rolling it out.
Well, we know that advisors have always wanted choice, but in reality now what they're telling us is, give me a couple of choices and make sure they're A+ choices, and so they can be just a little bit more selective.
Mm-hmm. CRM is often sort of the nerve center of an advisor's practice, so it makes sense to start there.
Yeah, our clients basically told us, they said, we need a means to access our information, and accessing that through a client relationship management system would be the most efficient way. But think about the entry of information into a single system instead of entering it into multiple places. Less prone to error. Certainly that information and its availability easier to get to by the principals, by the operational, everybody looking at the same information. That's the integration that we're talking to. And in effect, it's what makes Schwab Intelligent Integration different, right? Because it's not a new box. It's a matter of taking your existing technologies and bringing them together. In fact, we think so strongly in this that we formed an entity that we announced today as well, Schwab Intelligent Technologies. And this is going to be a multi-year initiative, and we'll continue to develop this platform.
So the integration and is not the full extent of where you're spending your energies. Could you talk a little bit more about that and what you're hearing from your advisors and what needs you're trying to meet?
Yeah, there's an array of things that are important. Obviously, keeping all of our technologies improving and staying state-of-the-art is going to be important. We're working on our web trading applications and making sure that they're staying up to speed. Rebalancer is incredibly important, and where we can, we're making sure that we're integrating within the overall platform on those things. But product selection. I talked a lot this morning about ETFs as an example, exchange-traded funds. You know, we launched 15 styles within the last year and a half that advisors use most often at the lowest possible cost. And so when you think about that opportunity, advisors right now have $53 billion in assets in exchange-traded funds. We know advisors want and need to use alternatives. So we've put 30 new opportunities on our advisor source platform for them to access registered alternatives. We think that's going to be important. And then of course, the global markets. Advisors need access to global products, but they are going to need access into global markets, meaning trading within the local currencies and the local markets. And so we're working on solutions for that as well.
So it's products, it's technology, and what about on the practice management side of things? What kind of plans do you have there for advisors?
I think as we've discussed before, I think consulting is one of our most important ventures. And we need to continue to add to the sophistication of that. Practice management, whether it be through group sessions or individually, where we're working with firms, we're working with them on their strategic plans. We might be working with them on succession or their firm's profitability, incredibly important. Within practice management and business consulting, we do benchmarking studies. This year we talked to 800 clients through the study and $300 billion in assets. And then we can share best practices across all of those clients. And I think the other leg in the stool is really banking. We're going to get more aggressive next year about lending. Now, obviously there's a lot to be said about lending in the news these days, but we're improving our pledged asset line so it'll be more efficient for advisors and their clients. We've just signed a new deal for a mortgage servicer to improve the service around our primary mortgages and our HELOC arrangements, but we're also creating a lending program where we can help advisors bring junior partners on board, give up some ownership in the firm, and create a next generation, so that long sought after goal of succession and trying to satisfy some of that.
So it sounds like you're kind of busy.
We're a little busy. Well, you can see the
I can see,
the
yes. Record attendance too, which you must be pleased with.
Yeah, we're pleased. We're pleased because advisors find the need to be together. I often talk about this as a community. The value they're getting here is from certainly all of the providers and the ecosystem, as we refer, that's built up around them, but it's from each other.
It's a community. Great. Well, that's probably a good place to end this session. And Bernie Clark of Schwab Advisor Services, thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. And go out into the fold.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.